Hello friends, welcome back to the James Lawrence Allcott channel. I've got a problem, another one, and this time it's to do with Watford. Watford, of course, sacked their manager, Xisco Munoz, the other day, and what's been interesting is the kind of discourse around that, and that's basically what I want to dive into in this video. I want to hear from Watford fans, but I want to hear from all football fans, because the grey of this is fascinating, right? Because there's a lot of cognitive dissonance when I think about this situation. And by that, I kind of mean this idea that what do we want as football fans, Watford fans, when you're kind of being led down this path where you have a change of manager all the time? And on this occasion, the manager that has just left is the reports that have come out, they've suggested that they're surprised that he wasn't sacked in the summer, because although he's got the best win percentage of any manager in Watford's history. Let me just say that again. He's got the best win percentage of any. So he's a manager who's been at a football club for 9 months, is it? And he's got the best win percentage of any Watford manager in history. And people are surprised that he lasted this long. Right, I'm not trying to be patronising here, but there's a confusion, right? I've got a confusion with this. So Watford fans, please take this the right way. I'm wearing your colours, sort of. But join me in this conversation. Like, that's what I love about this channel, is the fact that, of course, like, I'm doing most of the talking, but you guys can respond in the comments. And I think it's one where everyone can take part in this conversation, because generally, you want stability at your football club. You want building blocks, right? And this manner of dealing with managers who, although it seems like there's a real sort of tactical disorganization that seems to be written about by people that know a lot more about Watford than I do, and his inability to sort of remedy stuff or moments within a game. This is also a manager who's got a newly promoted team to 7 points, which isn't great. Like the teams that they're playing, I'm just having a look at it now. Games against Newcastle, Norwich, underprepared Aston Villa at the start of the season, Leeds, I guess, who were promoted a couple of seasons ago. They're not the sort of toughest games, and I'm sure there's a harder road ahead. But what I keep coming back to is what's better. And Watford have survived. You know, they've had the best period in terms of staying in the top flight or Premier League of 5 seasons, I think it was. Had numerous managers, changed all the time. And there was no kind of tense period. There was no wasting of utilising the turbo boost, the bounce back ability, the new manager bounce that you get when you bring in a new manager. And it's fascinating. And I think that's the thing, like with lots of things that you don't truly understand initially, I'm always wary of going, well, that's wrong. It feels wrong. It seems wrong. But is it wrong? That's my problem with Watford right now. And I can imagine some Watford fans will go, well, this is like, in life, you need to deal with the things that you can control. And you can't control these decisions that get made in terms of losing a manager that seemed to have the players behind him. Generally seemed like a very likable person, and of course that doesn't matter really, but you've just swapped him with a likable person in Ranieri. Now, I'm not saying Ranieri's not a better manager, of course he's not, but what is guaranteed is that, I mean, it feels like it's guaranteed, doesn't it? Is that Ranieri will not be the manager in, where should we go with a prediction here? Well, we're in 2021. He will not be the manager come January 2023. And is that okay? What? Because I guess the road you then go down is about accountability. And you have a weird scenario where the standards are very, very high in terms of what is needed in terms of results. Because actually, even if the results aren't horrific, because they're not horrific for Watford, it doesn't matter. I don't know what the criteria is for survival. I feel like it's not about that. It's about going down, seeing the road. It's just turning down into the road of where, okay, this might go wrong. Well, let's turn around. Let's go the other way. That seems to be the constant decision. Like, what is this all based on? I just find it really strange. Now, Watford, look, they had a fantastic defence last season. They were always expected to go up. But also what needs to be understood is that the jump between the Championship and the Premier League is pretty big. It is pretty big. So you're not going to win every game. It may take a second to figure out your best way, your best route to survival in that division. And I come back to the fact that, okay, the points weren't wonderful, but the points were okay. And you're in 14th place. We'll never know. It really is. It's one of those. We will never know. So I come back to the consequence thing, the accountability element of it. And maybe there's something new here. Maybe there's something really refreshing in the idea that the playing staff are playing for their career. They're not playing for their manager's career. The problem you then have is about buy-in, because the decisions are made by the coach, right? So if the decisions are made by the coach and then, undertook by the players have to be behind it. They have to get with it. I mean, does that matter? Is it just a case of, well, I'm going to try my hardest because I'm a professional and I want to stay in this division and I want to play Premier League football and I want to get myself the move? Because that's what's becoming the narrative, I would imagine. And if people go, who would take that job? Loads of people would take that job. Loads of people would take that job. Because what it means is it gives you an opportunity, a shop window to be in the Premier League or even to be in the Championship, right? Where you are being seen. And if you do a solid job and you get, dispersed with, it's not on you. It's on, that's Watford, isn't it? That's Watford. So your reputation remains intact. It's funny, isn't it? I mean, often a manager, you go, oh, he had to go. And again, people who want to kind of offer that hipster, it feels like hipster to me, and I'm trying to stay as neutral as possible, ideal that it just wasn't working well, you got to do these things. That's where I come back to with the kind of moral element of all this. Like, what do you want as football fans? Now, Chelsea have won, and this is something I've spoken to Chelsea fans, and Chelsea fans talk to me, right? This is one of those where, like, this is stuff that you just have to accept, right? Because again, it's not your choice. And the good side of it for you is there has been, general success, right? And the same goes for Watford. For Watford, where they are as a football club, there's been real success, hasn't there? From a team that wasn't always in the Premier League, since they've been in charge, they've progressed. Of course, inevitably you'll have moments where you go up and down, but they were able to bounce straight back up. And Munoz was part of that. But the success is not dependent on the manager. It's dependent on, according to the Pozzo family, getting rid of the manager at the right time to allow the kind of, I think there might be something in the idea of the story of anyone, of anything, right? With a story, there's an initial kind of understanding of what it is and an excitement of what it is, right? And then it can plateau, or like the attention of anything, right? You go, okay, what's this? Oh, okay, I kind of understand it now. Oh, I like it. And you go with it. But inevitably, things plateau. So if you are kind of catching a new wave and catching a new wave and catching a new wave, maybe success is there to be had because of frequent changes with people that are coming in with new energy each time. The energy's never dropping. Of course, the other side of it is that there's no real trust with the manager. There's no real belief that that person will survive. And the players have the power. And again, that can be spun both ways, As long as you've got some leadership within that, then you might be okay. And Watford generally have been okay. It's fascinating. But it doesn't feel right. And I don't know if that matters or not. I support a team in QPR where we've had periods where we've had success, but it hasn't felt right at all, and it's been pretty grim. And then we've had times where we've been in Division 2, and it has felt right. And actually, that's been better. So for me, like personally, I don't know, like maybe I'm just a bit more relaxed about success or failure or mediocrity as a football fan. Of course, I have that desire, but to do it the right way, how you do something feels important to me. And The club is about your community, and I'm not doubting any of those aspects within Watford at all. But the manager's such an integral part of a football club, right? So for you not to have that guy and to be able to invest in that person, and for those people to be, let's be honest, mistreated, because has he failed? Has he failed? I mean, technically, because he's been sacked. But, 14 wins. The promotion secured with a run of 14 wins, 3 defeats in 18 league games. Popular guy, warm, enthusiastic guy. Like, where does this end? It doesn't, does it? It just continues on this road. And he says, look, this isn't something I wished for or expected, but I've got nothing but gratitude for the club that gave me an opportunity to start my adventure. So they'll find a manager. And of course, Ranieri, this is a great example. Like even experienced managers, you can go and get them. But one thing is absolutely for certain is that he will not survive. And so if he's not going to survive, does that make you care less? I understand that I'm going down a lot of different, interesting, probably disappointing roads, right? But that's the point. This channel is about conversation. It's about opinion. That's mine. I'd love to hear yours. Watford fans, get involved in the comments, because I'm fascinated by this. I am, because the club's okay. The club's absolutely fine. You're enjoying promotions, but something feels funny about it, doesn't it? Something feels so strange. So there you have it. Let me know what you think. If you enjoyed this video, please do hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, then hit the subscribe button as well. It was lovely to chat to you. I'll see you very soon. Goodbye.